Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day Chukwu Abiama Benigwe whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace. Under our command, O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoto. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. Ahadin sosine bigebi rone bigebi. Ise.
IPOB, one family. Biafrans all over the world. If we want safety and security for our people, then let's continue to support Eastern Security Network. All donations are welcome. No contribution is too small or too large. Do your part, knowing that freedom is in our hands, and together we must all rise to the occasion. Go to our website to make your contribution, www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. And remember that freedom is not free, but together we restore it. farm by farm, forest by forest, house by house, and street by street.
He is Amadiohan, the angel of war, destruction, and justice. Nations order, because from tomorrow, Monday the 15th of August 2022, we will commence with a 7 days traditional prayers in which we will call upon the Chukwu Okike Abiama to use his Amadiohan, the angel of war, destruction, and justice. Among the expected accomplishments of the Amadiohan within the 7 days of our prayer include striking everyone who has a hand in the unjust and continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with mysterious sickness and diseases in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. That mysterious death of firstborn male child of everyone who has a hand in the unjust and continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. That madness will befall everyone who has refused to endorse the immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the unconditional and total restoration of the suffering state of Biafra in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. We also want to use this medium to ask Mr. Fane Bruce Esquire to immediately request and be granted interview with CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, and other media in the mainstream to talk to the whole world on the issue of Biafra. Finally, all the blood-sucking demons in the Biafra land who have converged in the name of security operatives but are causing deaths for the innocent people of Biafra will, from this period of our prayers, face the rewards of their evil doings in our ancestral land. The land of Biafra will swallow all of them in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Every saboteur collecting money from our enemies in order to betray this struggle shall be eaten up by the land of Biafra in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Every saboteur who has decided to frustrate this struggle, be he a man or woman, clergy or laity, rich or poor, big or small, indigenous or foreigner, witch or wizard, may the land of Biafra eat him or her up and the entire generation in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. And may all abounding blessings be for all true freedom fighters of the Biafra freedom in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Long live Biafra, long live Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, long live Mazi Simon Ekpa, long live the Biafra monarchs, custodians of culture and tradition, and sincere Biafra freedom fighters in the name of Chukwu Kabiala.
You must listen to her. Of course, you must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.
How do you cage Nnamdi Kanu? In fact, I want to call that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. A freedom fight agitator who said that, look, he wants liberation for his people. Why are you incarcerating him? Why are you not going to arrest Fulani men? Look at the bomb blast in train blast in Abuja to Kaduna. Up to today, our people are still being kept by these bandits. Where are the security? Where is the president? Where is the security act to go out and rescue these people? Tell me what is happening. It is a shame. Tell me, Igboho, they went after him in the southwest and were able to stop him. At least we're not hearing about Igboho again. Why can't they stop these Fulani men who are terrorizing this country and have made it impossible? They come to Benue and kill. Just in my local government, within the space of 40 people have been killed. More than 40 people. In another local government, over 20 people were killed. And then you want me to keep quiet. They want to intimidate us. I will never be intimidated. At least, let me talk. If at the end nothing happens, and some of you are keeping quiet, keep quiet to your shame. But I want to say that the rest of Nigerians, you people are joking. I raised alarm in 2016 that these things were going to happen. What is it that I have not said? I have said it. If Nigerians want to get out of this, they should arise. Arise Television, as your name implies. Arise and let us liberate ourselves. President Buhari and his cohorts are not able to do.
The federal government, led by the Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazo, met with the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kebbi State, offering them the sum of 100 billion naira over 2 years to stop the kidnapping in the country. The meeting lasted over 4 hours on Friday as negotiations dragged on, with the association initially asking for 160 billion naira. The minister said that the strategy was part of the steps needed to tackle insecurity in the country as prescribed by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The herdsman crisis has risen since 2015 after Muhammadu Buhari became president. Their rampage has spread not only in the north but also throughout the southern zones of the country. The killings by the herdsmen has led them to be tagged the fourth most dangerous and deadly terrorist group in the world by the World Terror Index. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, who was also at the meeting in Kebbi State, added that over 1,000 people have been killed and many more kidnapped in Kaduna. However, he said that this intervention was necessary to bring the criminals to book. The Kebbi State Governor Atiku Bagudu said hosting the meeting in his state shows the seriousness of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in tackling the security challenges in the country. Responding, the president of the association, Alhaji Muhammad Kirua, said the meeting would serve as a foundation for peace between the Fulani headsmen and farmers and among Fulanis themselves. Roots TV, Nigeria.
Fellow Nigerian, in search of excellence for Africa, my mission remains to create awareness, advance practical solutions, and transform mindsets via case studies. Together, let's midwife deliverance for our race, country, and continent. Please share this video. I am Dr. Israel Noyerem Davidson. Thank you. In 2001, US-led forces overthrew a Taliban-led Afghan government following the 9/11 attacks led by the Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. For the next 20 years, the US and allies enforced democratic ideals, built up Afghan security forces, and provided operational air cover. The Taliban continued to attacks. Now, eventually, under President Trump, the US promised to pull out if Taliban agreed to stop attacks and hosting terrorist groups. Today, the Taliban militants have declared Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan and overrun most of the country at lightning speed with little or no resistance from the 300,000 US trained and heavily equipped Afghan forces. US general could not believe an army could crumble at that rate.
I did not, nor did anyone else, see a collapse of an army that size in 11 days. There'll be many postmortems on this topic, but right now is not that time.
It is believed the Afghan soldiers, though diehards, had unquenchable allegiance to jihadist ideologies practiced by Taliban. There were Afghan soldiers by day, Taliban at heart, and Taliban at night. A situation some suggest currently exists in Nigeria too. So Afghanistan was simply handed over to the mullahs to govern, based on their shared jihadist ideological leaning. The south and middle belt of Nigeria should wake up with urgency. The Afghan situation is cooking fast in Nigeria today. Afghanistan is number 1 on global terrorist list. Nigeria is number 3. Second.
You must listen to her. Of course, you must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important. But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you. That they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this IPOB, belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near. The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully, and they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you. They will buy some of you over. The spirit of Oba Biasika and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they will buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong.
I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in buying you over, you're not going to stop what we're doing. You can't. Not in you cannot. Not in 1 trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed Chukwuokike Abiama, the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Ehiri in Aguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Ora Eri, the same God of Owe Eri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not if you know what the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who we are chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what these neo-colonialists do not want. They don't want Biafra to come. I am telling our people so they understand. The mountains, I didn't say one mountain, the mountains in front of us that we need to overcome. And for us to overcome it, we need to be very strong mentally, mental strength. Just like when you're doing anything in life, and it appears as if you are being buffeted from everywhere. That is the time that you no longer rely on willpower or your muscles. You go to your brain to endure and to persevere and to keep going until you overcome. That is the stage we are in right now. To make sure that our brain is in gear to confront everything the Janjaweed has to throw at us. We don't have money. Their budget is over $20 billion to fight us. They can bribe Facebook. They can buy them off. They can do anything they like. They can come to some of you and bribe you off. They can promise you what you've never had before. They can give you maybe a house in Dubai. They can promise you a vehicle. They can tell you, oh, we'll make you vice president. They can promise you anything to make sure that you're like them. But this very IPOB, this very hardcore is not going to move. And I will tell you why we can't move.
Is that those of you with the instruction that I was giving before, is that those of you with your smartphones who are connected to IPOB live broadcast, especially via IPOB coming up, no longer Radio Biafra because a new one is coming. Delete every Radio Biafra app on your device. Delete it. Nigeria has taken it over. You must delete it. This zoo has taken it over. It is an order. You must remove Radio Biafra app from your phones. Nigeria have taken it over. The zoo have taken it over. A new Radio Biafra app is coming. A new one is coming imminently. And it will blow Facebook out of the water. That I can assure you. Disengage Radio Biafra from your phones. Delete every Radio Biafra app you have on your phones. It is very, very critical you do so. We are getting a new one. I can no longer wait. We must take away every Radio Biafra app from your system. Anything that is not playing my voice live now, please do not have it on your phone anymore.
This is all my worker, and the Lion's Fund is here. IPOB is here.
Remove it from your phones, please. Very, very critical, very important. Let us pray to Chukwuka Gana. Our Lord, our God, our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, it is coming. Our youths are making sure that your kingdom will come on this very earth as it is in heaven, as was prayed by Yahweh Yeshua many, many, many centuries ago.
I want all people to ask that criminal, how did he end up with?
As painful as it may sound, disengage Radio Biafra from your phones. Delete every Radio Biafra app you have on your phones. It is very, very critical you do so. We are getting a new one. I can no longer wait. We must take away every Radio Biafra app from your system. Anything that is not playing my voice live now, please do not have it on your phone anymore. Remove it from your phones, please. Very, very critical, very important.
To tell you the story how he ended up in Kuwait. He was single-handedly picked in Africa country, and all the Islamic people. And of course, before I go into this particular exposition, I want every officer, principal officer, every man on ground to listen to this announcement. Very important. From today, if your number is reachable normally, if you have a telephone number and your telephone number is reachable on direct call from Nigeria, from tonight, in fact, not just only you, but those of you in Imo State, especially those of you in Imo State. If you are a officer or you are your position very significant in what we are doing, from commanders down to volunteers, if you have registered number or if you have a Nigerian number that the criminal in the struggle that we have chased away, expelled, or that people have that number and the number is direct, you can reach you directly. Change the number from tonight. Off it. New number. Because in Imo State, we have gotten the intel that it's a tracking device, track all numbers that the criminals forwarded to them. Chinasa, Chike, Dozieha, and all of them have listed some numbers to be tracked. You know that you have a number, you have number and the number is direct. If your number is only on WhatsApp, please, you don't need to do that because they can't track you. But if your number is a direct number that people can use, once you on your phone, the number is in the network, you have to change your number from night. I am telling you the fact. I want this particular message, an announcement to go to everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are watching from. This is live and direct on Voice of Biafra special announcement this evening. Live on Voice of Biafra in entire Biafra land. Live on Enter Biafra, all channels, channel 1, 2, enterbiafra.org.com, Enter Biafra live streaming app, Enter Biafra, YouTube, and on all autopilot IPOB worldwide, and of course, on different social media platforms. We are here this evening for a very special announcement. Only announcement. As we get ready for Biafra, as we are preparing for Biafra, as we are getting ready for our freedom, it has become very imperative for today's special announcement. We want to inform every Biafrans that from tonight, no community, province is allowed to go into agreement with any Mayete Allah. It is forbidden. It is forbidden for any community in Biafra land to go into an agreement with terrorist Mayete Allah from tonight. We want to also inform Biafrans that Eastern Security Network is in every province of Biafra. There is no need whatsoever for any community within the Biafra territory to go into agreement with Mayete Allah terrorist group in the name of security. From tonight, it is forbidden. If your community experiences attack from the terrorist Mayete Allah, from any other terrorist group, you need to reach out to us. The numbers will be made available to the media team. The media team will make numbers available. You reach to us, reach to any of the media team and lay a complaint about either insecurity in your community, either that you are facing Fulani terrorist attacks, and leave the rest for the Biafra security to handle it. That is number one. If you as a community in Biafra land go into agreement with terrorists, thinking that by intimidation, harassment, and killing, you are going to go into agreement with them, you will have yourself to blame. From tonight, it is forbidden. We can protect you. Men and women have volunteered to protect our land, and they have been doing it, and they will continue to do it. So there is no excuse whatsoever that will make any community in Biafra land to go into agreement with terrorists. They can't compel you by intimidation, by terrorism, by harassment to go into agreement. It is forbidden from tonight. Number two, this particular broadcast is going to be very short. We want to announce that as we are approaching Biafra, as we are getting ready for our independence, as we are getting ready for breakaway as the case may be, as we are getting ready to declare Biafra an independent state, as we are getting ready to get our freedom, come 2023, we want to make it open today that Biafra are ready to leave Nigeria. And for that reason, there has been different departments that are now open for volunteers, voluntary recruitment, and the information will be made public for people to show their interest. At the meantime, for those who may feel concerned about security, there is nothing to fear, there is nothing to worry about. You have to bring out yourself and give your professional service to Biafra government. The beginning. On this note, I wish to announce today that the Biafra department sectors are currently accepting and they are open for resumes from different qualified candidates for different Biafra department and sectors. We are asking every Biafran to show interest in sending your CV or showing your interest. You don't necessarily have to show every CV because some of you may be very skeptical in the information you pass. But at this point, it has become necessary, so we are not taken unaware. We are ready to go. I am telling you, we are ready. And we have started the preparation ahead of time. So today, we have come to officially announce that Biafra is ready and we are taking professionals, those who are very, very well-to-do and those who are qualified in the following field. 1, we need candidates who are qualified in educational sector. Education. If you know you are a professional and you have experience in educational sector, from teaching, from organizational, how educational department or educational sector of government is functioning or should function better, it is time you indicate your interest. We are going to make this, after this announcement, the information to where you are going to send your resume will be made public. But it is just that to notify Biafrans that from today, the things have changed. And because we are almost running out of time. So we need you, and we are encouraging you, those of you who are interested to make history. You are interested to be part of those who will volunteer your professional experience and services to the government of Biafra, the early government of Biafra. Educational sector should indicate your interest by sending your resume to the information or to the address or to the contact that will be made public after this broadcast. The contact may be changed from time to time, as the case may be. We are also looking at those from the health sector. We have already the department, not the department, but the team, the doctor, nurses, and those health practitioners, the team is completely different from what we are announcing now. The health department and the health sector of the Biafra is different from what I am announcing at this point. So those of you who are professional, who are doctors, and you want to be part of the people, of the doctors, of the health practitioners that will hit the ground running for Biafra state, for Biafra government, it is time you get yourself ready, because we are taking the resumes and the recruitment of professionals. Number 3 is the police. The police is part of the security, and of course, every armed group in Biafra land who understand the rule of engagement, who have picked up arms to defend Biafra land, automatically will become either the police, either the army, the air force, the navy, as the case may be, according to the choice of such personnel. So every security from ESN down to the lowest, automatically you are a security personnel in Biafra government. The same thing goes to immigration. Those of you who may have experience in the administrative system or department of the immigration, you are now expected to contact the team or the committee that is responsible for recruitment of professionals in the immigration department and the immigration sector of the Biafra government. We are also accepting interest from professionals in commerce. If you know that you have something to offer to the Biafra people in commerce, you are hereby requested to indicate your interest to be part of the Biafra government in commerce. We are also announcing that we are looking for professionals to join the media team, professionals in media and communications. You are not necessarily going to be broadcasting on social media or making broadcasts like me or like any other person, but you are needed in the department and the media sector, the media and communication sector of Biafra. We want your experience, your ideas, your input in the media and communications sector of the Biafra government. We are also accepting resume from professionals in trade and finance. Those of you Biafran professionals in trade and finance scattered all over the world, the time for your service is here. We do not want to be taken unaware. We do not want to be taken unaware because we have fought this war for more than 50 years. So if by next year you will be saying, oh, let me come and join, let me come and join, that may not be any time by then. We don't want people that will come to join when everything has been done. We want you to be part of the original idea of these different departments and sectors of Biafra government. Going forward, like I said, Eastern Security Network automatically become the military, the security, police, and what have you, depending on the choice of the personnel. We are also looking for professionals in the energy industry. The energy industry. Those of you who are very competent and professional in the energy, you are hereby needed, and we want you to send your interest and your resume to the contact that will be provided after this broadcast. We also are looking for Biafrans professionals in oil and gas industry. Oil and gas industry. If you are a Biafran and you are somewhere in diaspora, even those in Nigeria, but we are not, the Nigeria own is that they may not be feeling comfortable with these informations. So, but we understand if you are in Nigeria presently and you feel concerned, we are giving exemptions to those in Nigeria, that if you are in Nigeria, you do not need to, to come if you are not comfortable, because we know that some of you will be very, very skeptical considering the situation and what is going on. So it is quite understandable if you are not very comfortable. So we understand that. So the people in Nigeria, they are exempted, on this. But of course, those who want to come should know that, if you come, if you show your interest, your information is secured and it is not going to go to anywhere. It is only for the Biafra government use. Now, we are looking for professionals, Biafra professionals in road and infrastructure. Roads and infrastructure. And let me also make it very clear that we are not only taking just Biafrans, we are also taking expatriate. Anybody that is volunteering to be part of this wonderful and very beautiful nation that is coming, you can also indicate your interest. You can suggest to friends that you know that are professionals if they want to be part of this history to make Biafra one of the greatest nations in the world within a very short time. The time has come. So we are also accepting not just Biafrans, but also expatriate. We want to also inform Biafrans today that we are looking for professionals on urban development. Those who are very good in urban development, you are hereby requested to submit your resume, as we have started recruitment of professionals that will kick and hit the ground running immediately. If you are very, very conversant and you are professional in insurance corporation, you are needed. You are needed. We want you to be part of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation setup. The government of Biafra, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation setup. You are needed, and it is time for you to offer your expertise or your expertise to the Biafra people. We are also looking for professionals in prison industry. Prison industry. You will be part of those who will plan and put a very powerful federal prison facilities, securities, how the administrative system of world-class prison, how they function and all that. Those with experience in this field, you are all needed, and we want you to be part of this early Biafra government. We need people and professionals in the National Mortgage Corporation. This will involve the credit and database system. You are hereby needed. If you know you have experience in the National Mortgage Corporation, you are hereby needed to be part of the Biafra early government. Remember that for you to be part of this particular wonderful and historic team, you are making history for your generation to come. We are also informing people that we also have already the Federal Intelligence Agency, Central Intelligence Agency. You are also needed if you are very experienced in intelligence gathering. We have our M branch, we have our other intelligence team on ground, and of course we have other intelligence team in other parts of the world, but we need more professionals to bring your resume to plan the Biafra intelligence system. You are needed. The time is now. Do not say you were not told. We are also taking applications and resume from the social services. If you are a professional in social service where you are, in the country where you are, your service is needed. In Biafra, we need to set the ground and hit the ground running. The Biafra Social Service. The social service of Biafra will be one of the best social welfare or social service in the world. We want to set a record because with the situation that Nigeria has pushed Biafra people into, that is one of the most important sector we need now is social welfare, social services. It will be needed like nothing else. So those of you that are, professional in this field, you are hereby requested to submit your interest and your resume to us, to the contact that will be provided after this broadcast. If you know that you are a professional in children services, this also is connected with social services, but this is going to be a different department. It is going to be Women and Children Services Commission of Biafra. Women and Children Services Commission of Biafra. If you are experienced in this particular field, you are needed and needed urgently in forming and setting up the Biafra Women and Children Service Commission. If you are experienced in postal service, logistics, some of you are well-trained logistics, you are in different departments, in different parts of the world, and you are into logistics, postal service. We need you in this particular early government of Biafra. You have to be part of those who plans how the postal service will be operated from scratch. We are also announcing that the Biafra Railway Corporation Department is open for those who have experience in railway businesses, conductors, those who knows how this railway is operated. Of course, we know that some of us, abroad are working in some of the Biafra people are working in railway stations, they are working in that industry, and so we need professionals and experienced people that are very good in planning the railway service and system of Biafra. Not this Achikote Ikwono they have in Nigeria. No, we don't. We want a well-planned railway. Biafra is going to be operating underground railway, and we are going to do that because of space in Biafra land. We are going to have underground railway. I know that as I am reading out these things, it may be sounding very funny to some people. You know, some people will say, oh, you know, all this while, nobody have actually, so they are announcing how, you know, department and sectors, you people don't know what is coming. It will be like play, like a joke, This joke will become a reality. You are going to sleep in Nigeria and wake up in Biafra. I am telling you the fact. I am telling you. You will sleep in Nigeria. One day, you will wake up the next morning in Biafra Republic. And it is called Vum Nanya. Okay, Munu Vum Nanya. We have said it before. Those of you who are very good in the coast, we have our security that also very, very good in coastal guard and all that. But some of you who have, you know, who are somewhere in diaspora and you are in that particular sector or in the field of coast guard, you are also needed because we know that our security personnel on the, you know, back home will make part of this coastal guard. So we need experienced, you know, training or trainers in this coastal guard to bring their resume and be part of it. We are also looking for professionals in budgeting, those who have worked in budget office, budget sectors, budget department, where you work, where you are, where you live, in your country, and all that. If you have experience in budgeting, we are needing your services, and we want you to immediately get to us and show your interest to be part of those that will make history in Biafra. Budget and finance. Budget and finance. And then, of course, we are also looking for people with experience in controller of currency, mint, in currency and mint. We need those of you who are very, very conversant with mint, which is the currency, and the currency of Biafra and all that. If you are very experienced and you have knowledge and very conversant in minting and all that, you have to, you know, be part of this particular history. Of course, that has to do with the central bank. If you are into banking and finance and economics, and you know that you can do very well, and you know what we need to do to make sure Biafra stand very tall in finance, economics, you need to indicate your interest to be part of the planning of the Biafra Central Bank. As I am saying this thing, it is going to be sounding like play to some people. But it is going to, you will end up, you know, being left alone or left behind if you think that this is a joke. Do not say that you did not hear this particular broadcast, because this broadcast is going to be as very short as possible so that people can watch and listen to. And of course, most of the department that may not be here will be also announced as time goes on. We also need professionals in our own field, in judiciary, judges, lawyers, and so on and so forth. Those of you that we have our brother in Canada who is a minister of justice appointed some time ago or so. You know, we have many of them scattered all over the world. So the judiciary need professionals. All of you in the United Kingdom, you are hereby requested to show interest to be part of the planning. Do not sit back and wait for people to do it. Wait for people to take the risk, and then you come out and say, oh, I did not know that you people were serious. Or maybe by next year, by September next year, you will be running, making call. I know, call to Simon, call to that person, call to the government in exile, call to that. I know that person, I know that person. I want to be part of it. It may be late because, you know, you may have lose that opportunity you have to be part of making Biafra history. It is not when other people take risk, you will come and start shouting, oh, I want to be part of it. No. It is now that we need your original idea and your input. We need it like never before. We also need applications and people showing interest in custom and border protection. Custom and border protection. Some of you work in different departments in diaspora. Some of you even work as a custom officer, you know, in UK, in America, and other parts of the world. So you are needed in this particular history that we are making. We also need professionals in cyber security. Very, 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 very important. Cyber security. We need professional in cyber security. If you are a Yahoo boy and you can operate computer very well, do not come and use it because there is no space and opportunity for you to use Biafra to do Yahoo scam. It is never going to be allowed. But if you have the knowledge and you are very smart in, you know, operating computer, that you can do Yahoo with your experience, you are needed. Not your Yahoo, but your experience is needed. And you must be very clean. You must not use it to do Yahoo with Biafra name. Otherwise, we will put you to jail. So you are needed. All the Yahoo boys that are making Yahoo are making something out of nothing from their computer, and they are breaking a record with computer and all that. You are needed because that experience is needed to put one or two things together. Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency. We need you like never before. And again, we also need Biafrans on the National Universities Commission. These are the board that will hit the ground for our education, universities and all that, to put standard and make sure that our school and university will be one of the best in the world. So we need people with this kind of experience in, in planning university and all that. They are call them the National Universities Commission of Biafra. And of course, our defense intelligence remain our people, our security, ESN, and other securities on ground. And then we continue. We are also interested in taking application from well-experienced Biafrans expatriate in the Department of Homeland Security. You know, where some of this whole thing, our security intelligence base, in addition to ESN, and all that. I am telling you that what you hear me reading out today is part of the sectors of the Biafra government that we are already taking people, because we want that by the time Biafra is declared, everything is already may not be perfect. We are not saying that it is going to be perfect, but the structure will be there, and people by then may have worked very hard to hit the ground running. So we are not going to waste any time and wait until Biafra is declared before we start running around. So the Department of the Homeland Security, if you are experienced in this, those of you from the United Kingdom, those of you from the US and all that, you are hereby requested to submit your resume to be part of the think tank group that will set this particular record and history. And then, of course, we are needing individuals with experience in the Department of State. The Department of State of Biafra. Department of State of Biafra. If you have something to offer, you are hereby requested to indicate your interest to be part of the people that will set up this particular sector and of our Biafra government, the Department of State of Biafra. We are also looking for professionals to join the team for the Department of Treasury, the Treasury Department of the Government of Biafra. You are hereby requested to, if you are qualified and you are very good in this, the Department of Treasury, you are welcome to be part of them. If you are very much experienced and know how to handle the welfare of our elders, veterans, and all that, you are, especially those of you in the US that fought Biafra War, and those of you that, left from Biafra to the United States at your early age after the Biafra War, and you are probably very well experienced in those things, and you have experienced it yourself. So we are needing professionals to be part of the Department of Veteran Affairs. Department of Veteran Affairs. Very, very important department. Veteran. Those of the Biafra veteran, the Department of Veteran Affairs is very, very important. We are also needing professional in international development. The international development, the people that is some of you who are well knowledgeable enough to know how to maneuver these things, you are needed, if this falls under what you know how to do, you are hereby requested to submit your interest to be part of the international development team. We are also looking for professionals in agriculture, animal and plant health inspection services, animal and health inspection services. We remember that before the 1967 Biafra Nigeria pogrom war, we know that even people from Finland were in my village, doing a lot of things, taking care of our animals, and we were eating very healthy then, and our cows were very healthy and all that. So it is needed, if you know that you are a professional and well experienced in this animal and plant health inspection services, you are hereby requested to submit your resume, and so you can be part of the team. If you are very well knowledgeable and experienced in healthcare regulation services, regulating the healthcare facilities of Biafra, because we're going to make sure that at least you are going to be very, very okay with our healthcare system. There's going to be equipment. There's going to be everything that you see in America, everything that you see in United Kingdom, everything that you see in Europe. You are going to have it even better in Biafra. We don't want you to be traveling for medical surgery or whatever. So you are going to have everything state of the art facilities in Biafra. So we are having healthcare facility regulations team. If you have knowledge about this, you are hereby requested to contact us so that you can be part of the planning team to have a very well respected healthcare facility regulation, to put them in place. And then, of course, those of you from that other field of drug enforcement agency, not this one they do in Nigeria, not this corrupt NDLEA that will connive with Abba Kaire to be transporting and exporting drugs and pushing drugs and form a cartel. No. So if you have experience in drug law enforcement agency, we also need your experience and all that to plan, so we can put things in place that will make sure that Biafra land will be drug-free society. All right. And then we continue. For those of you who are very well in and very knowledgeable in firearms and explosive, we know all of them. The Center, the Bureau of Firearms and Explosive. If you are knowledgeable enough and you are somewhere in America, United Kingdom, Europe, Asia, Australia, and what have you, and you have experience in firearms and explosive, we are hereby needing you to be part of this particular groundbreaking and historic team for the Biafra Bureau of Firearms and Explosive. Biafra Bureau of Firearms and Explosives. Now, if you are also very, very much conversant with the transportation system, we are also looking for people, the Biafra people and expatriate, for the transportation ministry. The transportation ministry will also be part of the ministry that will plan our transportation system, how the buses, if we are using tram, building the tram system, building the railway system, and electronic tram and all that. So if you are working in this industry where you reside in diaspora, you are needed or have experience about this transportation, planning of the transportation, the motorways and all that. You are needed to be part of this particular think tank. We are also needing people to be part of the Labor Ministry and Statistics. The Labor Office will be designing, how some of the people who may want to go into businesses or working, and they will work very closely with the social welfare. Very, very closely with the social welfare. We are going to have not exactly the same with Finland, but we are looking at something better than that will suit the challenges that Biafra people will have coming from Nigeria. So the Labor Office and the Labor Ministry, if you have experience in labor law and labor offices across the globe where you reside, you are needed to be part of this particular early stage of this Biafra government. We are also looking for professionals, that are well conversant with disease control. The disease control, we want you to be part of the Center for Disease Control of Biafra. We need you, and we need your services, we need your experience, we need your input to be part of setting up the Center for Disease Control. We are also looking for professionals in the energy industry, energy information administration. Energy information administration. If you are well knowledgeable enough about this particular sector, we are needing your services and experience, and we are asking you to come forward. And then, of course, we go into Environmental Protection Agency. We need to see a well-structured recycling system, in Biafra. where we will convert our dirty, our beans and all the waste to energy. The energy will be converted to either biochemical energy and whatever we may need the energy to do. So those of you who are well conversant with the environmental protection in your country where you live, we need you to come forward and indicate your interest. Environmental Protection Agency. We also need researchers. We know we need researchers. If you are a researcher in this field like economics and all that, we need researchers. We need economic research team, economic research services of Biafra. Today, you know that as the zoo is failing and falling and collapsing, the dollar have risen to 700 or so. I don't know how much. So just for you to understand, so we need a very good team of researchers to be part of the Economic Research Service team of Biafra. We are also looking for professionals in the aviation industry. We want to see you, if you have knowledge about the aviation industry, we need you to be part of the Federal Aviation Services of Biafra. The Federal Aviation Services of Biafra is needing your experience, your input, and your services. If you know that you are good in the credit database system, we are going to set up what we call the Farm Service and Credit Agency of Biafra. It is called Farm Service and Credit Agency of Biafra. If you want to be part of this team that will set up this particular service and credit services of Biafra, you are hereby requested to join and show your interest and your resume so we can look at it and you'll be part of the early stage of this particular government. We also looking for professionals in Federal Highway Administration. Federal Highway Administration, that is part of this. You are going to work very closely with the Ministry of Transportation and also to plan, of course, with the other department. It is not going to be only the Ministry of Transportation and other, but the Federal Highway Administration that will make sure that our highway are world-class standard. We are also looking for individuals and professionals in the Federal Housing Administration. Biafra will demolish every mud house. Every mud house in Biafra land will be demolished, and the government will have what we call the Federal Housing Administration that will begin to plan and begin to build the prototype, what we have in the prototype of Biafra city, and everybody will be, we have the opportunity to live in good environment and good house. So there will be no mud house in Biafra land. We will demolish them, but it's not going to happen immediately. Before we demolish your house or your, it must, a provision must have been made by the government to make sure you live up to standard. We have, of course, the Federal Housing Finance. The Federal Housing Finance for both the young people and average people in Biafra, and of course, that will make it possible for people to, acquire or buy houses, that have been built like just about any other part of the world. We also have the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. If you are experienced in this particular field, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center will have people with experience in this particular field to be part of setting the standard for Biafra. We're also going to have what we call the Federal Trade Commission. The Federal Trade Commission of Biafra will also be part of this particular sector of Biafra government. So if you have experience in trade and all that, it's going to be part of, you're going to work together and closely with other departments that has to do with commerce. We are also looking at those and looking for those who are well versed and experienced in marine and wildlife, to be part of the Marine and Wildlife Agency. In the setting up of the Marine and Wildlife Agency, you are hereby requested to contact us and let us start setting up the pace so that you people will continue, so that it will not be a surprise to Biafra people. We are looking for people to join the group for the Food and Drug Administration. If you are experienced in this Food and Drugs Administration services of Biafra, you are hereby requested. If you know you have something to put an idea and input on how this particular sector of the economy of Biafra or the department of Biafra will be run, please, we need your idea and your expertise as soon as possible. We also need individuals to be part of the food safety and inspection services. Before you import anything into Biafra, it is going to make sure it goes through this particular food safety and inspection services. Before food is, our target is that before you bring food to the public for public consumption, before you start a business, say you are making food that is for public consumption, it must pass through inspection. It must pass through this department called the Food Safety and Inspection Services. They must come before you set up your business of food. The inspection and this particular department will come to inspect your environment, inspect where the food is coming from, inspect the process, and if it is not up to the standard, they will advise you what to do to make it come up to the standard. And it is not just that. Those who are starters may also be entitled for government, support that you can, they can support you to make sure that your dream of, supplying food to the public, that you actualize your dream. Let it not be because you don't have equipment or because the place is not neat enough. So this particular department will make sure they do recommendation before you can be approved to take your food out to the public for public consumption. So we need people who are expert in this particular field to show their interest so they can plan it very well how it is going to be in Biafra. And of course, we need the Forest Service Agency. The Forest Service Agency is needed if you are experienced in forestry or, in the forest, for those who knows what to do in the forest and how our forests will be managed and all that. You are needed to show your interest if you have any experience in forest. So we are going to have what we call the Forest Service Agency. And of course, we have the Geological Survey. If you are a geologist, if you are experienced in this particular department, we are needing you, your service is needed to be part of the Geological Survey Department of Biafra. And then, of course, we are going to also have what we call the Government Accountability Office. The Government of Biafra Accountability Office. So if you know that you have something to offer in this particular department of this accountability office, you show your interest that you want to plan the office and how the sector or this particular department of Biafra will be run to be very effective. Accountability Office. And then we need also people with experience in publishing. So we need Government Publishing Office. Government Publishing Office. You see, this department, all this department that I've mentioned and this one I'm mentioning now, the Government Publishing Office, is very, very important, because by the time when we set the ground running, the dissemination of information will be coming from this particular government publishing office. So all information will be disseminated from this particular office, and then it's going to be shared widely by everybody, and all the Biafra people will have one of the first class way of disseminating information from the government publishing office. We also need people with experience in fish, fishery commission, our waters. You know that when they came, this Nigeria and their colonial masters, when they came, they have destroyed our river. Our water is now polluted with oils, and some of our brothers in the other riverine side of Biafra can no longer fish. So we are going to have the Fishery Commission that will make sure we restore the sanity in our water, to make sure we restore the water, and the water will be fine again for fishes, for those who are making living and who are going to be enjoying fishing. So the Fishery Commission will be activated to make sure that our water will be clean again. And of course, you know that if anything like gas still remain, that we are going to be having anything like petroleum and all that, we are going to give standard to every oil industry in Biafra land not to pollute our water. If you pollute our water, you are going to pay billions to clean the water, and you are going to clean it. So we also have the House of Representatives, Senate is going to be in Biafra. Internal Revenue Services. If you are experienced in this Internal Revenue Services, you are going to show your interest. Let us plan how our revenue services will be done. Of course, it is going to be electronic revenue services, so that is a part. But we need the people to come with experience and they make them some input. We also need people in commission for museum and library services. If you are experienced in this place, come forward with your resume, and we need to, put you online. International Boundary and Water Commission. For those who know exactly the history of Biafra very well, we are saying it that the time is now. We know the the boundary of Biafra. We know that Nigeria tried their best to cede part of Biafra territory to Cameroon. Today, we have our security, our BNL, the Biafra Nations League, BNL, is very heavily present in Bakassi Peninsula. And that Bakassi Peninsula, we are not going to cede that to Cameroon. We are not going to give even one plot of that Bakassi Peninsula to Cameroon. And I want to inform you today that after our alliances with the BNL, you all have seen that Cameroon now wake up, and they are every day in our territory trying to, to prove a point that we are in their territory. But that's a lie. So we are not going to. And today again, they have now revisited the issue of Bakassi, that now they want to go to ICJ to go and for ICJ to give clarification on the judgment of Nigeria and Cameroon over Bakassi Peninsula. So it is because of these alliances, and because they have come to understand that this new generation of Biafra have planned that they never foresee coming from many years back. So today they have come to see it, and everybody is running katakata. Nigeria is now running kitikiti. The Cameroon is now running kitikiti. So we are not going to allow anybody to take our land. So for that reason, we need people with experience in this particular industry, which is the commission, which is the International Boundary and Water Commission. Very important. We need people in Trade Commission, and of course, and other legal service corporation. Those who want to be part of this legal service corporation of Biafra will also indicate their interest. We need to have people in the maritime administration of Biafra. If you have experience in this maritime, please come forward and let us begin to put things together. We need people in the Military Academy Commission. The Military Academy Commission, those of you in the military experience on administrative or military experience, you are needed here. You are needed here for the Military Academy Commission. We also need more experienced people on Missile Defense Agency, the Biafra Missile Defense Agency. We want to, of course, we want to have the same thing that Israel have, automatic defense system for Biafra, because we are going to protect our border. So we don't. We want to. Our target is to even have more technology, welfare than Israel. our that is our target. Our dream is to have that automatic missile defense system like Israel have. So because they are going to come. When we get Biafra, it is not yet over. I want you people to understand that when we get Biafra, it is not yet over. We must protect and defend our land with the modern technology. So we need people with experience in missile defense system to be part of this particular agency. Now, like I said before, from the Labor Office and all that, we have what we call Biafra Citizens Business Development Agency. Biafra Citizens Business Development Agency. If you are very good and you have worked in such field in your country or in the country where you are in this particular business development and all that, we need you. We need your experience to come and start putting things together with your other team of professionals for the Citizens of Biafra Business Development Agency department. Now we have also the National Aeronautic and the Space Administration. So the Aero and Space Administration is also needed. Those of you with experience in this field, you are needed. We have the National Archive and Record Administration. You are also needed to be part of this particular government, early government of Biafra. The National Cemetery Administration is needed. If you have experience in this, we need you as soon as possible. National Cemetery Administration. We also need people to be part of the Cancer Institution or National Cancer Institute of Biafra, a research institute that will, focus only on cancer and all that. So if you are a professional in this particular field, we are needing your services to be part of the planning, of how the Biafra National Cancer Institute will be and what they're going to be, what should be how the institution or the institute should operate and all that. We also need the National Constitution Center, those who are very good in drafting constitution and the interpretation of constitution and all that. We are going to have what we call the National Constitution Center, so that the constitution will be, no constitution is ever complete. To subject to amendment, to subject to edit, and whatever you can call it. So, and then of course, whenever there is issue, it is going to be amended, and the National Constitution Center will continue to research on policy and the constitution of how the Biafra will stand and compete among nations. So we need you to be part of this constitution and the National Constitution Center. We also want to see people showing their interest in the National Credit Union Administration. It is part of the database system of Biafra. So we want you to be part of this. If you have experience in this particular credit union system, you are welcome to, put your ideas and your input on this. We also need people with specialists. We also need specialists in the eye, the National Eye Institute. Those of you that, with your eye, if you are an expert or professional in that, we need you to be part of the National Eye Institute. The National Gallery Art, this one is everybody want to be part of this National Gallery Art because Biafra is rich with culture and all that. So I believe everybody will want to be part of this particular National Gallery of Art. We also need a National Universities Commission. We have, it is almost the same thing, but they're going to be a different department. We have the Allergy and Infectious Disease Commission. If you are a professional in this allergy and disease specialist or something, you may wish to be part of this particular department and indicate your interest so that you will bring your original idea and opinions on how these things will be run in Biafra government. And then we have what we call the National Institute of Biomedical Imaging and Bioengineering. Those of you who are in this field, please, we need you as soon as possible. And then, of course, this one is what everybody have, what we call the Board of Nursing. Nursing. So we need those of you nurses, registered nurse, practicing nurse, coming to, all the nurses around the world, from London to America to wherever you are, and you are nurse, to Europe. We need you to be part of this particular team. Very, very, very important. Board of Nursing. And then we have the National Institute of Deafness and Other Communication Disorder. So if you are expert and professional in this area, deaf and communication disorder, you are needed. We need to have one of the best, provide the best service for Biafra people with difficulties in hearing, communication disorder, and deafness. We need to, make sure we give them the best, that we can offer. Then we need the National Institute of Minority Health and Health Disparities. This is also needed in the health sector of the economy of Biafra. The National Library of Medicine. The National Library of Medicine. We need people to come on board and plan this particular department of the Library of Medicine. We are also looking for people that will be part of the National Park Services of Biafra to be part of this planning. And then, of course, the Renewable Energy Commission. If you are experienced in this field, we need you. And then we need the Biafra National Science Commission. The Biafra National Science Commission, if you are a scientist, you can come forward to be part of this. We also need Biafra National Wildlife Research Center. National Wildlife Research Center of Biafra. You need to be part of this if you have experience in this field. We want to see the some of our Akwa people in the nuclear industry. We want to have the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. I want you people to understand that the reason why Nigeria cannot use nuclear plant to generate electricity is because Nigeria is a terrorist country. Nigeria is a collapsed country. Nigeria is a failed state. And that in this life, until Nigeria ends in 2023, they can never be given the opportunity to use nuclear plant or nuclear power. But Nigeria have uranium. We have uranium in Nigeria, but they cannot develop it. They cannot use it because they are a terrorist country. So, the issue of whether we want to discuss it is, but in Biafra, we are going to have the privilege to go into nuclear plant and see how we can generate energy for, from the nuclear plant. So we are going to make sure we go for that. So we are having the Nuclear Regulatory Commission that will send the standard for that. And then, of course, we are going to have the Office of Refugee Settlement. refugee settlement. Our refugee will be going very strict screening. We do not want to take terrorists into our land as a refugee. So, of course, we want people in this particular field who are experienced to also come forward. In this one alone, I know what to do. I know 1 or 2 buttons to press, and they will prevent terrorists from coming to as a refugee in Biafra land. But we need people, who are experienced in this particular field to come and let us hit the ground running. Office of Primary Education is needed. If you are good in this field, we need you. Office of Post-Primary Education is needed. If you are good in this, we need you. Office of the Secretary of Defense. This is, of course, different because ESNs are there. Office of Pardon Attorney is there. If you are experienced in this, we need you. Office of Secretary of Defense is there. Those of you in America and our serving personnel in the U.S. and then also retired personnel in the U.S., you are also very much aware that the Office of the Secretary of Defense of Biafra is needed. And of course, it has to come from some of you. The Parole Commission is needed. If you are experienced in that, we need you. We also need a Patent and Trademark Office. If you have experience in patent and trademark, and so we need you to be part of the think tank team to set up the Patent and Trademark Office of Biafra. The Pension Benefit Corporation of Biafra, pension benefit. If you are experienced or have knowledge about this, we need you to be part of this team. The Postal Inspection Commission. If you are in this logistics and you know how they inspect the post and all that, we need to have the Postal Inspection Commission, and we need your idea and your input. Now we are also looking for people to come forward with how our public health service is going to look like. So for that reason, we have what we call the Public Health Service Commission of Biafra. It is needed. We need people in this healthcare sector, in this public healthcare sector, to tell us, to come and bring ideas on how we're going to set our Biafra Public Health Service Commission. Now we have the Privacy and the Civil Liberty Commission. People are needed on the Privacy and the Civil Liberty Commission. And then, of course, we need individuals to be part of Biafra Radio Commission. The Risk Management Commission is needed. We need you professionals to be part of the brainstorming for this. The Secret Services, our Secret Services, setting up our Secret Services is needed. We need those who are who are working as agents and all that to be part of this. Securities and Exchange Commission. We need people with knowledge and experience in this Security and Exchange Commission. Selective Service Administration, Business Administration, Small Business Administration. We also need people in Strategic Command Unit, Labor, Wage, Hour Division. We also look for women in Women's Bureau. We also look for people in Special Education. We also look for people in Culture and Disability. And so the list will come up, but this is what I just read through now is what some of the departments that we are looking up to for Biafra people to take up responsibility. These individuals and these agencies will meet to work and fine-tune every area of Biafra government department. You will closely work with ministers and commissioners in charge of different departments, and that is coming from the Biafra department recruitment. And so we are going to, I am going to post the email where, if you are interested to be part of the Biafra LA brainstorming team, as I just read it out now, you will have to send email to this email that will appear on the screen in one moment. Send your email and your showing of interest to Biafra Department at gmail.com. 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 I want to also announce today that the autopilot IPOB in the USA have now officially launched their WhatsApp numbers and WhatsApp group. So if you are in the US and you want to be part of the autopilot team or autopilot, you want to join autopilot group, there is number to contact, and I'm going to make this number available on the screen. And those who that we have not announced their autopilot number, please, as I am doing this now, you may wish to remind me about that your state or your country have not been announced yet. Very, very important. So we can bring it to the screen for everybody to watch. We have almost 19,000 people watching this program today. 19,000 people watching at this point. We are going to have one moment. You are going to have the WhatsApp number for Autopilot USA. Autopilot USA. All right. When you look at the screen, you are going to see the Autopilot USA. One moment. I need to re-edit it a little bit. All right, when you look at the screen, you are going to see USA Autopilot, Madam Azuka. Madam Azuka, the number is there on the screen. If you are in the USA and you want to be part of the Autopilot team on WhatsApp or, the group, so you can be given a special task and you know what is going on, you contact Madam Azoka. The next person to contact is Dr. Blessing. Dr. Blessing number is there. You contact Dr. Blessing +1 770 3297 339. And then the next person to contact the USA is Dr. Ruby. Dr. Ruby is +1 40 466 32493. Dr. Ruby. So once you contact these people, if you are in the US, any part of the US you are, they are going to link you up to the autopilot WhatsApp group. Very, very, very important. Very important. They're going to link you up to autopilot group. So we are going to be all right. And again, I need to. My time is up because I have been. I'm supposed to have a meeting in a few minutes' time, and I have to leave the program. So from here, I thank you all for being part of this program. May God bless you. May God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May God bless Ise Security Network. May God bless Sunday Igboho. May God bless Umuada. May God bless their husband. May God bless media team. May God bless you watching. May God bless all our alliances. May God bless all of you. And those I remember and those I did not remember yet, may God bless all of you. From here, from me, is good.